Hi guys, and welcome back to BlackisGolden. In this video, I will be telling you guys about 7 things that help to change my outlook on life. If you are new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. And if you are a member of the Golden Society, welcome back and thank you so much for sticking and staying with me. I don't necessarily know if you guys have this struggle as well, but being in your 20s, I don't even know what we call it, because we hear people talk about midlife crisis, but there's something about being in your 20s, like you're really trying to figure out what you want to do with your life, and it's so easy for you to get stuck in like this moment, this time that is just passing you by, and you feel like something is wrong, but you don't necessarily know what it is. You can't pinpoint what to do to change it. I was able to pinpoint more than 7 ways, but I'll point out 7 with you guys in this video just for you to get a feel of what I came to the realization of, and maybe these 7 things can help you. Let me know in the comment section if you have anything that you might add that would change my outlook or someone else's outlook. I'm sure we would all enjoy it. One of the things that really and truly shifted and changed my outlook on life was establishing a proper work/life balance. When I say work/life balance, I literally mean like what you do as a career, what you do every day for 8 hours as your job versus what you do for fun. There are some things we do because we have a job and we have to do these things, but what do you do outside of your job? What do you do for fun? What do you do to learn? What do you do to tap into your potential as a young person, middle-aged person, whatever age you are? For me, I find it very easy for me to get caught up in work a lot. Like anything for me to make some extra money, I'm down for it once it is legal and I have the potential to do it. And that has been pretty challenging for me over the years because I miss out on a lot of opportunities to unwind, to have fun, to do things that I really want to get crossed off of my bucket list, because I feel like if I'm not working, then I'm lazy. Like, I don't know if it's a Caribbean thing, you know. Somebody needs to free us from the mentality of feeling that if we're not working, then nothing is going on for us. It's okay to rest. It truly is okay to rest. So I'm encouraging you guys to seek out some time within your schedule to do this one thing that makes you happy. If it is to travel, if it is to take adventures on the island where you live or in the country where you live, find some time to incorporate that into your daily life as much as possible. I am living proof that the timing will never be right. I can't explain to you guys, I can't even put it in number form how much times I've had a really good idea and I didn't execute it simply because I didn't have everything I needed in the time to execute it. And for me, the timing is never right if there's 1 or 2 things that are still in the works of being finalized. I want everything to be done, everything to be here so I can start prepared. That has affected me in a huge way, mostly because I would get an idea and I would work like on the back end, going through the planning stages of how I can execute the idea, what I need to do, a time frame, and then I don't necessarily get everything, and my enthusiasm behind the idea, the business, whatever it may be, changes. And I'm still in the process of learning to kind of flip the switch and remind myself that the timing will never be right if you get the idea, it's something that you know that you can execute very well, just start. Start wherever you are, start with what you have, start in whatever capacity you are in, and as you get going, you will develop a lot more skills, you'll learn more about what you're doing, what you want to do, and a lot of things will fall into place if you just start. Take it from me, the timing will never be right. You have to make the timing work for you. A personalized timeline is something that I stress on a lot when I have conversations with people. For the very reason of, I feel like it's easy for us to fall into a trap of comparing, especially with our friends, with our people in our age group, people in the field that we want to excel in. It's very easy for us to compare ourselves to other people. And the reality is that we never know the backstory of those people. We know what we're dealing with, and we know what we would have to do, what sacrifices we would have to make this thing possible. But we don't always remember that our timeline is personal. So some of us may see people who are in their early 20s getting married, building a house, and we want to know why we haven't built a house yet, why we aren't married, all of those things. And it really doesn't take away from the things that you are excelling at in your life in your early 20s. A key tip that I use to kind of bring myself back from comparing myself with other people is that what I want for my life and the sacrifices that I'm making, whatever I've manifested, I'm putting in the work, and I've achieved so much in my life. So something that I tend to do is I tend to reflect on the things that I have achieved in my lifetime at this age that a lot of persons haven't, or even I didn't think was possible for me to achieve at this age. So that's a good tip for you guys to work with. If you have any other tips about how you can remind yourself that your timeline is personal, I'll be happy to hear about them in the comment section below. Don't be afraid to reinvent your life, your career, your business, your passion, whatever you're adventurous about. I know that we have a saying that people like to be in everything. Personally, I look at myself as a multi-potentialite, and I say that because there are a lot of things that I can excel in, and once I put my mind to it, I will. I have over the years been in a sort of time, a frame of mind where I would feel like I've been doing here since primary school, because I had to learn to plait here for my little cousins and everybody, and maybe I want to do here, and the time frame of me doing here where I enjoy doing it was a year, and after that year I'm stuck in this loop of being a hairstylist simply because I'm afraid of what people would say about me moving on to another business or another career path, another passion. I am learning slowly but surely to let go of what people's opinions are on my life. And if it takes me reinventing myself 10 times, once I'm happy with the end result, I'm happy with what I'm doing in the moment, I'm so sorry to say that it really doesn't matter to me what people think. It really doesn't. So I'm giving you this advice and hoping that this is something that can change your outlook as well. Don't be afraid to reinvent yourself as much times as it takes.
Hey, you're watching the man Jamila represent for BlackisGolden. As I said, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You see, Patriots.
Self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is something that I've struggled with for quite some time. Not necessarily in the fact of knowing who I am and what I have to offer, what I can achieve, what my abilities are. More so in the sense of my physical appearance. I've always struggled with how people see me. I had to come to the realization that because of my diagnosis, my body isn't as normal as much people would expect it to be. And so there are some people that would quickly realize that some parts of my body are darker because they're in an area of my body where you can't not see when you come into contact with me. Example, my neck. That is something that I will get into later on into some videos that I will roll out on my channel. However, I am quickly learning. It took me a good while to get to a point where I am comfortable with how I look, what I bring to the table, and nobody can go around that with me. You can't go around that with me. I am comfortable with what I bring to the table, and I know that it is enough. So if ever you're in a situation where you feel like you are having a moment of doubt about yourself, remember that it's more so about you than it is about anybody else accepting you, because we are, in truth and in fact, our largest critics. And I am aware of that now, and I hope that you guys are on your way, or even there as well, with accepting yourself. Having a realistic approach is something that really and truly shifts your mindset overall in a drastic way. When I say realistic approach, I mean there are some persons who might, let's say for example, want to do a bachelor's degree, and the preferred time frame for a bachelor's degree is 4 years. The preferred time frame for a bachelor's degree is 4 years, and somebody might very well think to themselves that they want to do it in a year and a half because they've seen other persons do it in a year and a half time frame. What works for somebody else doesn't necessarily work for you, and a lot of times we set ourselves up for failure because our time frame, our approach on things aren't realistic. Now, what are the odds of me at this age being a childhood gymnastic professional? It's really not realistic. I'm not even a child anymore. So that's where I'm going with this. We need to stop setting up ourselves for failure by having some unrealistic timelines, unrealistic approaches to the things that we really want to achieve in life. Sit down, work out what you want to achieve, plan a roadmap of what you're going to do leading up to achieve that in a certain time, and make sure what you're doing is in truth and in fact realistic to your current lifestyle. My last point for this entire video on what changed my outlook on life is to simply say to you guys, the opportunity wouldn't present itself if you didn't have the capacity to excel at it. The opportunity would not present itself if you did not have the capacity to excel at it. A lot of us are struggling with things that we can do but don't want to do, simply because we don't want anyone to feel as though we're always in things, or we don't want to feel like our life is confusing. If you want to get up today and you want to become a TV show host, you want to become a hairstylist, you want to become a photographer, you want to become a model, and you might be a lawyer by profession, You might necessarily be a makeup artist by profession. There's nothing that says that you cannot accept the role of being a host for a talk show. You may very well be passing up on an opportunity that will change your life for the better. So I am saying that as I've said it to myself, and I keep repeating it to myself when opportunities arise. The opportunity will not present itself if you do not have the capacity to excel in that role. Remember that I've shared with you the 7 things that changed my outlook on life, and if there are some things that change your outlook on life, or some of these tips helped you to see life from a different perspective, be sure to comment down below and let me know how you feel about this video. And if you have any video ideas for me that you would love to see in the future that align with what I'm doing now on BlackisGolden, please don't be afraid to reach out to me on BlackisGold869 on Instagram, as well as in the comments here below this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.